What's going on, ladies and gents? It's your dude, Intergalactic Brew. You already know. Here to talk about the big one, Super Bowl, going down Sunday, Indianapolis, Naptown, as they like to call it. It's going to be a rematch, as we all know. It's no surprise about these two teams. They've met before. They met in the regular season. Now they're going to meet again in the Super Bowl. I didn't think this was going to happen, but hey, that's the way it goes in the NFL, right? Anyway, the New England Patriots going against the New York Giants for the, what is this, the second time in the Super Bowl, but I think it's the third time overall. I think so. I don't know. But anyway, they're going to go at it again. This time for the Super Bowl championship again. But only this time around, it's a lot more interesting twists and turns, I believe, because I think last time it really didn't have all that much suspense or drama involved. So I think this time it's a lot more drama and a lot more suspense, at least in my view. But anyway, let's go ahead and break down this game as far as the game itself goes. Basically, Tom Brady and the O-line are going to have to find a way to avoid the defensive front four of the Giants, as well as the pass rush from Justin Tuck coming off the edge. And Brady is going to have to go with the quick strikes downfield or over the middle, as he likes to do, to his receivers. And yeah, just basically, try to avoid that pressure that the Giants D-line is going to bring. Now a lot of people are saying that Tom Brady isn't all that good in the pocket, and the Giants pass rush or the Giants D-line is just as worse as the Ravens. Okay, that might be true, but if you look at it, in that Ravens game, Brady was doing pretty well. I mean, I think he only got sacked like one time, two times, compared to Eli in his last game against San Francisco. So that's saying something about Brady. If he was able to avoid Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis and all those guys, I think he won't have no problem dealing with Boley and Pierre Paul and Tuck and the rest of that defensive front. So I think we're kind of underestimating Brady's mobility back there in the pocket. And I think we're underestimating the O-line a little bit because, Brady was able to get the ball out to, of course, Gronkowski and Hernandez and Welker and, the rest of his receivers. So, I think I don't see Brady having too much trouble with that, But I mean, then again, they stopped Brady last time when they played each other in the Super Bowl, so it could be a different story here. I don't know. But I'm just basing off of what I saw in the AFC Championship game. Brady did a pretty darn good job staying away from that pressure. So that's all I got to say. Now, as far as Eli Manning is concerned, I don't have the same confidence because Eli Manning got towed up in the NFC Championship game. I mean, pretty much San Francisco treated Eli Manning like their own personal roadkill. Like he was just that possum or that deer or whatever animal you want to call it standing in the middle of the street, and you just had like these big, fast Mack trucks named Justin Smith, Alden Smith, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, and the rest of them, I mean, they were just basically treating Eli Manning like their own personal doll, and they were just beating the stuffing out of him. Now, granted, Eli Manning was still able to come back from all of that and make the plays when necessary. So that's saying a lot about his toughness and everything. But that but I don't know. I don't know. About that about the defensive front for the Patriots. I just don't know. I don't know. But as far as Tom Brady goes, I think Tom Brady has a better chance of avoiding New York's pass rush. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe Eli Manning does too. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I think that's what it's gonna come down to is like, who can, avoid either side's defensive pressure. I think that's what this game is gonna come down to. I mean, everybody knows that's what this game is gonna come down to because we know both guys, are elite receivers. We know both guys are lethal passers. They're accurate. They can put the ball right on their receivers' numbers and score touchdowns. So it's all the matter of who's going to get the most pressure on who. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's go to the secondary. Now, obviously, both of these teams' secondaries are not that elite. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, New York was one of the lowest ranked secondaries in the NFL last year, as was the Patriots. But if I had to give an advantage to opportunity and experience-wise, I would go with the Patriots. Because they were able to handle the Ravens receivers pretty well. I mean, sure, they got burned on some plays also, but for the most part, they covered the Ravens receiving core pretty good. So that says something about them. Now, as far as the New York secondary, Vernon Davis had a track meet with those guys, as did Michael Crabtree. I mean, Crabtree might not have scored, but he gained some big yards in that NFC Championship game. And if you don't believe me, you can go back and look at the highlights yourself. So I would trust the Patriots secondary a lot more than I would trust the New York secondary. But, it's the Super Bowl. This is for the big prize. So maybe we might see the Giants secondary step up. I don't know. But I'm just basically breaking it down based off of the games that I saw, the championship games, the conference championship games that I saw, and I'm basically evaluating my judgment off of how I saw both secondaries play. So, I would give the edge to the Patriots secondary here, but I mean, you never know. I mean, like I said, in the Super Bowl, anything can happen. I'm pretty sure nobody expected Tracy Porter to pick off Peyton Manning back in 2010. I'm sure nobody expected Ben Roethlisberger to throw an interception in last year's Super Bowl. So I mean, you just can't never tell. But just based off of what I've seen in the regular season, I would go with New England's secondary more than I would New York's. But like I said, it's a win-win situation on that side. Now, as far as receiving cores go, I think it's pretty even there. I think this probably might be the most even area of the whole game is the receiving cores. Because both teams have good receiving cores. Dare say great. Okay, both receiving cores have come up big in their previous championship games. Okay, so I don't think there's any question that both receiving cores are going to come to play. And I know everybody wants to compare, the matchups and stuff. Everybody wants to say, oh, it's Wes Welker versus Hakeem Nicks. I really don't think so. I think both of these guys have distinct styles. I think they both run differently. I think their speed is about similar. I would probably say the only difference between the two is that Nicks might be a little bit bigger and a little bit taller and might have, bigger hands. But I think Welker, I think he might, I think he might be the strongest of the two because, Welker he's pretty big for his size. To be such a small guy, he's pretty strong. So, but yeah, that's probably the only difference I would see between Welker and Nicks is in size. But whatever, we'll see what happens. But yeah, the receiving cores, they're pretty much evenly matched. I think the running game of both teams are evenly matched too, because you kind of got a little bit of a thunder and lightning type of scenario going on, because you got Jacobs and Green Ellis that are going to bring the power, and then of course you have Woodhead and Bradshaw that are going to bring the speed. So I think as far as the run game goes, I think both D-lines are going to have a tough time stopping the run, to tell you the truth. Basically what I'm trying to say is this is going to be a high scoring game all around. I don't think this is going to be I don't think this is going to be low scoring at all. I think both quarterbacks and both offenses in general are going to have their moments in this game. I think so. Especially at this point now. So I think it's a pretty level playing field as far as offense is concerned. But I just wanted to point out, just the matchups, I guess, on the receiver side and the running back side. So we're looking at a good game here. This is going to be a good game. Like I said, it's going to be high scoring. Like I said, both teams have good receivers. Both teams have good running backs. So this is going to be who can put up the more points. So yeah, but as far as who I think is going to win, personally, I mean, everybody's on the Giants side. Everybody thinks that, oh, well, this is going to be a different type of D-line that Tom Brady's going to face because they're young, they're a lot faster. I understand that. I can completely understand that. But, Tom Brady, he's so quick. He's got such a quick release. And I just don't think that with his release, I don't think that that front four of New York, I don't think they're going to be able to pressure him or sack him all game. I mean, they might get him in certain situations, but I mean, with his release, man, I don't think that they're going to be able to tackle Brady the whole game. Now, as far as Eli goes, Eli might be a different story. I mean, even though Eli, he has a pretty big arm himself, but I don't think his release is as quick as Tom Brady's. I mean, everybody knows from watching the Patriots this season, I mean, Tom Brady, it's just a flick of the wrist, as they like to say, and that ball's gone. So I just don't think that their D-line is going to be able to get to Tom Brady for most of the game, and, with that, and like I said, with that secondary, that secondary, they may not be the best, but I'm telling you, man, sometimes opportunity beats preparation. I mean, I know preparation beats opportunity all the time, but at the same time, it's better to be opportunistic than it is, to be prepared. I know that sounds weird, and I know Some of y'all are probably gonna say like, "Oh, you're an idiot for saying that." Oh well, I guess I am. But it's true though. It's true. I mean, if you can make, the bottom line is if you can get to the spot to make the play on the ball, that's the only thing that matters. I mean, sure, you can game plan and you can come up with different schemes and stuff. That's good, but I mean, the bottom line is you have to get to the spot, to cover that receiver, or you have to stay intact with that receiver in order to make something happen. And I think the Patriots can do that, especially if most of these guys are healthy, you know. So I just think I think basically it's going to come down to defense in this game. I don't think offense. The offense is going to play a big part, obviously, in the outcome of the game. But I think mostly it's going to come down to defense. I think it's going to be, whose D-line can get pressure on who the most, and I think whose secondary can cause the most turnovers. I think if either secondary can win the turnover battle, I think that's what's going to prove the outcome of the game. And from what I've seen, I think the Patriots secondary can do it. I mean, they have big, tall, athletic corners and safeties, and everybody wants to talk about, oh, the Patriots don't blitz and all this other stuff. Trust me, those guys can blitz. I've seen them blitz before. Those guys can hit when the opportunity presents itself. They may not hit as much as you would like them to hit, but when it's time, they can bring it. They can bring it. And I just haven't seen that out of the New York's secondary. I just haven't seen one game where the Giants secondary has played physical with any opposing receiving core. I just haven't. But hopefully they'll surprise me, and they will get physical, and they will blitz, and all that other good stuff. So we'll just have to see. But I'm going with the Patriots here. I just believe that their experience and their opportunistic instincts will allow them to either cause turnovers or lay a big hit on a receiver, and that's going to be that. So I'm going with the New England Patriots. But like I said, if the Giants can get physical and they can really turn it up, especially on the defensive front, then the Giants will win. But I'm going with New England here. Personally, I don't really care who wins this game. Let me just make that clear, because I'm a Falcons fan, as most of y'all know. So I really don't care who wins, but I would like to see New England win, because I want the Giants to feel the same pain that the Falcons felt when they put us out of the playoffs. So that's another reason why I'm going with New England. But I give New York credit; they're a good team. They've got this far, and they could win it all. So there you go. And another thing I forgot to mention about Victor Cruz. I expect Victor Cruz, to show out and have a pretty big day, but I just feel like, even though Victor Cruz is fast and he is a load in the open field, I just feel like that Patriots secondary, they can do enough to, contain him. But anyway, y'all enjoy the game. That's my predictions, and I'll holla. Peace.